So I made this comment to DevOps on Azure, and I truly believe it's actually the case. I work with what's Azure and ADO, and if you actually compare these two things, they're exactly the same thing. But one is owned by a company, and the other one is owned by another company, which is basically Microsoft with ADO. And I applaud Microsoft because they kind of, did a pretty good job. Unfortunately, what they did is they created a system basically for managers to just come in and then blame their employees for everything if they couldn't catch up with ADO and then whatever you need to do based on your epics and features and your stories and tasks, items, sprints, and it is just a mess because if you have a team of maybe more than 10 people, there's so much stuff in there that nobody can keep up with it. So what happens actually at the end of the year, there's a review, and in that review, the upper management, they will measure like how much stuff did you actually get done. And if you, let's say that you were tasked with creating a diamond from scratch, okay? So that's going to take you a while because you need to probably study some alchemy, then you have to study some physics, and then maybe figure out how to put a carbon together and then put a pressure on it, and then maybe like get into a volcano or something like that and then find some high pressure stuff and then just make a diamond out of the carbon that's being created there. So as far as like accomplishment goes, you've only done one thing. You created the diamond. Who cares, right? But then there's other people that are basically tasked with taking out garbage every day. And that garbage, they make sure that they have a bag, they put stuff in it, and they take it to the curb. Then they may even call the company, like here in Austin, it's Austin City Utilities. So every single step you can document. Say, I'm doing this, I'm calling the company. It looks like you're artificially busy, but compared to the guy that made a diamond, you were just artificially inflating your time in front management so it looks like you're busy, and that is what ADO is doing exactly. I am so sick of this thing. So I'm just gonna read what this says, okay? I'm gonna say that this is official. ADO took the fun out of development. It became a system to babysit managers and remove the need for them to understand what it actually takes to get things done. It gives them power over performance review without a requirement to understand what they're managing. It gives it gives jobs to former guild leaders. That's what it seems like. All these managers, they're full of advice and everything like that. But when you go into the World of Warcraft uh, instance, who ends up getting the best stuff? Usually the stuff that the guild leader knows and is a buddy with. The guys that that came in there with the heavy armor and whatnot are not gonna get anything. Um, so now you have this guild leader, right? That makes himself very important and actually in the whole scale of things doesn't really produce anything other than being an asshole to people and then kissing up upwards so that they get noticed and they get a nice bonus because hey, they just managed team of 10 people, but two of them were horrible. They didn't do anything the whole year. All they did is created a diamond, so they need to be let go. And yeah, so we have these 8 people that really don't do anything, but hey, they look busy in ADO. So now you have a Scrum Master role, and on top of this, and the Scrum Master is actually afraid of the manager because if the Scrum Master doesn't go with the manager, the Scrum Master gets laid off. Okay, it. I think that the change here should be that the Scrum Master basically becomes a manager and gets the power within the company to say, okay, you're a manager, but you actually should be certified in what you're managing. And once you can prove that you know what you're talking about, with some tests and maybe actually listen to your employees for a couple minutes and then go take a test on what was discussed and then pass the test, and then you are allowed to continue to manage. Otherwise, you guys with ADO and Agile, you've created a monster, okay? So it should force a peer review and improve the idiotic post-mortem retrospective that everybody's dreading that should actually use the AI prompts for the manager to take a test on that topic. So we have ability of AI to actually listen into the conversation. So you have like another listener, a prompt that records what's going on in that meeting, and it makes a decision at the end to say, okay, based on these things, we can create a quick test and just basically, 5 or 6 questions and send that to the manager to see if that manager really is managing and understanding what he's actually managing. Okay, so that topic, he has to pass it. If he gets a failing grade, well, he should automatically have his status be set to pending. Okay, and the pending then comes with additional things in ADO that says, okay, you're pending because your employees basically hate you, right? Or it doesn't have to say that, but your employees are not happy. So there should be like a secret vote that your employees say, am I really being led successfully? And it guarantees that you are anonymous in this thing, and the anonymity then takes you to a point where you're not afraid of actually having feedback for this project. I've been working on a project that should technically take me maybe 3 or 4 days, okay? But because of ADO, I'm so scared to say anything to my manager because he will just, criticize the heck out of it because it's not his idea. So number one, it has to be his idea before it actually gets adopted, right? But I could have been done 2 months ago, but still 2 months later, I'm still messing around because I never actually got the design spec from this manager. So finally, I just said, okay, enough is enough. I'm gonna go talk to the people that are asking for it. I'll set up a meeting with them. Out of those, only one person shows up, and that person actually gave me pretty good feedback on what I needed to do. By the end of the day, I had that thing done. Okay, so just within one day, if I just understand what the people want. But the problem is that my manager is filtering everything that's happening between me, the developer, and the actual customer that's trying to get something done. Okay, so this is usually on one side is the hardworking people that are actually getting things done. They're hoping to use technology to help them to get to places, but their life and their work is preoccupied with things that they need to do, so they hire us. Unfortunately, these systems that have been put into place have created these monsters, managers that just are there to collect paycheck and be assholes to their employees. That's it. And across the board, I work now in about 5 different companies. They're all corporations, and every single company has the same output. Okay, they all hire asshole managers, and then they measure the manager based on how many people they fired because they give them a budget of whatever it is. You hire 10 people. Out of those 10 people, you must let go 1 or 2 people. Okay, go to Reddit and then take a look at what's going on right there, because if this continues, it is going to suck to be a developer of anything. And yes, AI will take over 100%, and then we can just, all of us can kiss the world goodbye because AI is not going to care about our salaries. We're just going to be living on the street while the robots are living in the sky. Okay, that's my rant. I hope you liked it. If you didn't, give me comments. Thanks.